Shane Heel and the father-daughter combination of him and Shyla leading the Sydney Uni Flames. They led on a couple of occasions in that opening term, but find themselves down one at quarter time. 3 lead changes in the quarter, 15-14. It's the Bendigo Spirit who lead the Flames. The 2 form teams in the competition. The 2 longest win streaks, Bendigo having won their last 3, the Flames winning their last 2. The Women's World Cup is on its way to Australia at the end of the year. You can catch it in September in Sydney at the Olympic Park. 12 powerhouse basketball nations to battle it out for the Women's World title this September. For more information, womensworldcup.basketball. What was your key takeaways out of quarter one, Laurie?
A lot of outside shooting. There was no foul shots other than Bendigo went for an Annalie Maley went for an and one. So both teams are trying to, you know, get that perimeter shot, and we haven't seen as many drives to the basket and fouls committed.
Evans pinged for 3 seconds in the lane. So they'll cough up possession, the Flames, to start quarter number 2. Here's Garrick, shot up and it's good. Starts the scoring in quarter number 2. 3-point lead for the Spirit. Hasn't been more than a couple of possessions either way as Deeble puts up a shot from the elbow. Doesn't go. Maley loses the handle on the rebound. Levy scoops it up. Back to Maley. Pulls up herself. Rims out. Oh, no rebounder. Eventually, Rowe wrestles it away for the Flames. Shyla pushes it up the court. Purcell, weak side corner. Deeble, extra pass. Rowe trying to thread it through to Evans and throws it away.
I've been watching Maddie Garrick on Shyla the last 2 possessions, and well, why not? Why don't we watch Tessa Levy? That is a beautiful shot to extend the lead for Bendigo. But I was watching these 2 players, and Maddie Garrick, as you can see here, is not even helping. She's not in a help position. She's not in split line. She is totally focusing on Shyla.
Evans in the short corner. Dribbles to the elbow. Trying to lay it home round Maley. Gets a second go and a third. Out to Deeble. Catch and shoot. A little long. And Maley wrestles it away from Shyla. Here's Levy. Oh, thunderous pass. Trying to heave it to Goulding out of the bucket. Through her fingers over the baseline. So Flames ball. All of a sudden 2 of 8 shooting from long range. The Sydney Uni Flames. There's that Levy bucket. That was deep.
How casual was that? Thank you very much.
What an athlete she is, Tessa Levy. I know it's always emphasised her AFLW commitments as well as her role as one of the premier players and guards in the country. Last weekend, for example, she played on the Sunday, had 16 3-and-3, played the full 40 minutes. That was a day after travelling to Sydney, having 13 disposals and a goal in Richmond's win over GWS. That is one hell of a weekend.
That is an athlete. That is an elite athlete.
I think her team's on at the moment. Richmond in the AFLW. She's playing here today in the WNBL for the Spirit. And Shyla with a step back 3. Catches the front of the rim, reloads. Shyla can't make the second. And again, the rebound scooped up, this time by Rintala for the Spirit.
Bendigo have to really take care of their offensive blocking out, the rebounds, because Sydney have 6 so far.
Megan Huswaite courtside. Megan. Oh. We'll get to Megan momentarily. There's that loose pass trying to heave it up the floor. Now a timeout, a chance to talk things over. So 6-point game. It's as wide as it's been so far after 3 lead changes in the opening quarter.
I think both coaches would be, you know, especially Tracy would be fairly happy with what her team's doing. They're pushing the ball well. Their matchups seem to be really good. Like I said, I just think they need to make sure they're focusing on blocking out and not giving Sydney any second chance opportunities.
Six-point game, 20-14. Annalee Maley with 9 in the opening quarter. Already up to 5 rebounds to go along with that as well, the MVP favourite. And Froling 4 and 4. On the other side of things for Sydney. Rintala out there with Levy, McKay, Goulding and McLean. The 5 at the moment for the Spirit as Goulding fills it up from outside the three-point line. Up to 9 points the margin.
Good recognition. Her player wasn't going to respect her and went under the screen by Rintala, so she just popped it in there.
24-year-old in Mary Goulding missed the last start, but back out there recovering from injury. As Purcell goes to work, the scoop layup doesn't go, and McKay pulls it down. So dangerous moments here for the Flames. All of a sudden down 9 after leading on a couple of occasions in the opening term. Shot misses from McLean, and Nakasoglu does well, working around bodies, pulls up in transition, got it for the deep 2. And needed a basket there just to steady things up. McLean to McKay, and down low trying to feed Rintala. Froling does a good job to body up, and they get the ball back, the Flames.
It'll be exciting when they finally execute that pass, that high-low pass, and they're able to score.
Megan Huswaite courtside.
Well, Sydney are an inexperienced team, as we know, but they have a wealth of Olympic experience on their coaching bench. As Funda goes to the basket, 7 Olympic games between Shane Hill, the head coach, and assistant coach Shelley Gorman.
Megan, did I see a familiar face on the bench and an assistant coach there?
It's actually a statistician, Laurie. Shane Froling is playing the role of statistician today and taking that job very seriously.
I did see him on the bench against Southside as well, so it's good that he can, you know, contribute and feed information to the coaches.
Foul shots here for Rintala after back-to-back makes for Nakasoglu. Closes the gap to 5. Rintala, 1 of 2. 6-point game, and they sub the shooter. She touched on earlier, no foul shots at all in the opening quarter. 3 already for Bendigo in this second quarter. Here's Purcell, cuts on the baseline, reverse layup, works around Skinner. Nice work for Kalani Purcell. Comes up with her first bucket in the game.
Yeah, you've got to cut off that baseline in any drive so that she can't come around and do that reverse layup like we just saw.
Forces another turnover, Purcell. And she is a weapon on the defensive side of the ball. Had a tremendous year. Through her hands to Heel up top. Here's Nakasoglu, down low. Purcell,
oh my goodness.
Reverse layup, other side of the hoop.
Same thing exactly. Cut that baseline off. She's just done one. You've got to make sure that you make those adjustments.
Back-to-back mates for Kalani Purcell. Here's Goulding up top. Away to Skinner. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to get it to Levy. Tough shot goes up, no good. Maley the putback. And Maley's into double digits.
Oh, I thought they were going to run out of time there. Maley, luckily she got that and really quickly put it up, recognizing that the shot clock was running out.
Here's Froling trying to turn and go to the hoop. Shot up and finishes with a left hand. The basket's good. And Tracy York says, I want to have a chat about that. Timeout called by the Bendigo Spirit. And nice little run here for Sydney as they've been able to cut the deficit to 2, having trailed by 9 just moments ago.
And it's not that Sydney are doing anything, you know, out of the ordinary. They've gotten it down low, and 3 times they've had a look at the basket. Kalani Purcell scoring twice with that reverse layup. So, you know, they're going where the well is right now, and why not?
Here's Coach Hill.
We curl it, we pop, we post it, or we look to drive like that. Great timing, good spacing. We've got to be careful. We've had one switch between you two. They came off and hit the shot. So we've got to switch higher and harder when we're switching. So we're going to yell that out. There's no more where they come off on an on-ball. It happened 2 nights ago as well. Just have to be aware of that. Otherwise, great job. I love the way we're getting across. We're getting steals, we're creating it, and then we're running. We don't have anything. We get it to the wing. We throw it into the post. All right? Otherwise, we're in picker. Great job. Let's get on. Keep this run going now.
Really positive timeout from Shane Heal with his charges, and he would be happy with this run and what they're doing and how they're playing, and their defense is impressive. As he mentioned, he likes what they're doing. They're getting some deflections, and then they're running hard.
Megan Huswaite was behind the Bendigo bench. Megan.
Laurie was talking about the leadership of Tessa Levy pre-game, and it was very evident in that timeout, backing up Tracy York's message to get some stops and really lock down on D. Sydney have begun to take some momentum in the last couple of minutes.
10-3 run here as well for the Flames to back that up. Morgan Yeager's going to be called for the foul there, number 24 for the Flames. Rolling with the shooter sleeve as well. Happy with that look. Shooter sleeve, it's good look. There's the inbounds. There's Levy to Garrick. Back to Levy up top. It's all of a sudden momentum with the Flames. Open player Skinner for 3. And Demi Skinner makes good. Back to 5 the margin.
And she was open just because of that little pass fake from Tessa Levy at the top of the key. Her defender just went to perhaps maybe have to help and found her wide open.
Yeager to Purcell, out to Nakasoglu. It's up to 7 already. Had a couple of makes already in the quarter. Nice fake. Froling takes on Maley and finishes through the contact. Keely Froling. Tough mate.
Tough make, and Annalie Maley, stay on your feet. You can't go for those little shot fakes. Really well done by Keely Froling.
McKay trying to muscle her way in. And he's going to be called for 3 in the lane. Flames will get it back. 1 possession game as we close in on the half. Here's the Froling finish. That's a fascinating battle. Froling 8-4. Maley 11-6. Points, rebounds so far. Schuyler up top, away to Nakasoglu. Back to Schuyler, deep 3. That's good. Schuyler Hill from long range.
I actually like how Schuyler's playing today. She's getting her teammates involved, and the ball had changed hands a few times there before she took that shot. So I like her decision making. I like the way she's playing.
Schuyler Hill with 5 in the game now. Levy just pulls up off the dribble. That's her trademark. Just shakes them off the dribble and then finishes with a mid-range J. Purcell the handoff. Nakasoglu, top of the key, left it short. And Funda, she's 3 of 7 so far from the field.
That is another inside look. That pass, they're just not executing it.
They keep going to the well on it though, trying to feed it down low.
They do.
Final 2 to go before half time. Yeager down to Purcell. The handoff back to Morgan Yeager. Pulls up for the J, just rims out. They might get a second look at it here as they recover the ball. Froling back to Yeager, to Nakasoglu. 6 on the shot clock. Runs into Maley, draws the foul.
Nobody's in foul trouble in any of the 2 teams.
Purcell, weak side corner. Shot goes up from Froling off the rim, and Garrick on the board. Lady pulls up in transition. It's long. Purcell grabs the rebound. Chance in transition for the Flames. Leaves it behind for Heel. Clean look. Misfires. Last touch, Bendigo over the baseline. Sydney will keep it in their front court. They'll get possession. And a new 14. Ooh. Always tough one for the ref, aren't they?
Yeah.
All those hands in there on the rebound.
And we get the luxury of seeing it in a replay.
Spreader scoring 8 for Froling, 7 for Funda, 5 for Heel. The Flames 29. He's Nakasoglu in the corner. 6 left on the red numbers. Froling down low. Purcell loose handle. Recovers. Pulls hard for the jump shot. Got it to go. Kalani Purcell.
That was a bit of a fumble, a bit of a miss, and then all of a sudden, I'll shoot it.
Count them all the same. Levy with the runner. No good. Maley scrapping for the rebound. Jaeger steals it from her. Out to Nakasoglu. Bounce pass to Froling. Lays it up to give the Flames the lead.
Perfectly timed pass from Nakasoglu. Just a little hesitation, drew the defender that little bit more and made a nice bounce pass.
First lead change of the quarter, 4th of the game. We're flying towards half-time, 30 seconds before the break. Still only 3 foul shots in the game. The Flames haven't been to the line yet. Kira Evans back into the game. Well-earned rest for Froling before the half, and Purcell has been excellent. Purcell 2 steals, 6 rebounds, 6 points. Those 6 have all come in the quarter. Flames back up. Levy, weak side corner. Garrett catch and shoot, no good. Levy gets it back. Turnaround jumper, no good. Final seconds tick down in this opening half. Shyler off the dribble to Rowe, around to Nakasoglu. Draws the double team. Back up to Rowe, 3 seconds left. Out to Evans, jacks up the 3, misses everything. And that'll do us through the half. So 2 teams with the longest win streaks in the competition leading into the night. There was 3 lead changes in the opening quarter. It was the Spirit who led by 1 at quarter time. At the half, it's now the Flames who lead it by 2. So they win the quarter. 19-16, they outscore the home side to lead by a couple. Flames 33, Spirit 31. Megan Huswaite has got Funda Nakasoglu alongside her with 7 points in that first half.
She's been in everything, Funda. That was a great second term from the Flames.
Yeah, for sure. I think when we get out in transition, make the right plays, we look really good in offense. But I think everything stems from our defense, and we preach that since day one. And I think we're doing a really good job at getting back and finding our men. I think we can get a few more defensive rebounds, like we said, box them out because they're a really good rebounding team. But outside of that, I think we're looking good at the moment.
What kind of confidence are you guys playing with at the moment?
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, we never not have confidence, but in this particular instance, you know, we're on a 2-game winning streak against really good teams, and here's Bendigo doing the same as well. So it's like a battle of the people from the bottom coming out to the top.
Now, it's your last game. You're having surgery on your nose this upcoming week. Did not with the mask today, Funda. I know you've worn this mask before in the US during your college career, but it's given you the irrits.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty hard to play in. I tried it out in Southside, but by the second quarter, it was off and gone. I heard it from my dad, but I'm sorry, Dad. I just have to do without it today.
You called it your blinkers when we spoke pre-game, so it's working very well without your blinkers. Thank you. Good luck in the
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great to hear from Funda Nakasoglu. Thanks to Megan. Boy, she's fun to watch. 3 of 7 in that first half of Funda. She also has 3 assists and a couple of rebounds to go along with her. Laurie Chiswick, here's the first half highlights. What have we witnessed?
Well, it's a bit of a grind, isn't it? It's certainly not a high-scoring game, 33-31. But we called it early that it was going to be a close game because both these teams are in form. Both of them have different reasons that they want to get the win. And I thought you know, both teams move the ball fairly well. We have a range of scorers out there. Frawling leads it for Sydney with 10 points and Maley 11 for Bendigo. But Tessa Levy, Skinner got involved from the three-point line. We know it's a bit more of a shootout because Sydney haven't even gone to the line yet, and Bendigo only 3 times. So I like what I'm seeing from both teams. I think if they can limit turnovers, right now Bendigo have 8, and that's a little bit too many. Sydney are taking care of the ball with 5, but good quality game to halftime.
Absolutely, 33-31. So 4 lead changes in the game so far, 1 in that quarter, and it's the visitors, the Sydney Uni Flames, on a 2-game win streak. They lead it by a bucket at the half. Special guest to join us on the other side. It is the penultimate round of the WNBL. The playoffs are just around the corner, and at halftime, it is the Sydney Uni Flames who lead by just a bucket, 33-31 over the Bendigo Spirit. As you can see, Corbin Middlemass and Laurie Chiswick on hand, and the head of the WNBL in Christy Collier-Hill has been good enough to join us as well. Christy, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How's it been so far since taking on the role?
Look, I'm not going to lie, there's been a lot going on. I've been in the role for, I think, just about 7 weeks now, and from the moment I started, as you know, we're all aware, the league was really impacted by COVID, with games being cancelled and rescheduled all over the place, so a lot of issues management to start with, but we're kind of through that phase now. We've got the fixtures rolled out. Obviously, we're rolling out round 14 this week, and then we've got round 15 next week, which is the final round of the regular season. So frees me up a bit. Now we've got that sorted to focus on what I'm here to do, which is the growth of the league.
Christy, what are you hoping to achieve in your role as the head of the WNBL?
Well, there's a lot to be done, as you know, Laurie. Look, my vision for the league is that it's the best women's pro league in the country. And when I say best, I mean it's got the most amount of fans, it's got the most amount of members, it's got great TV coverage, it's got great media coverage. I think that's where it deserves to be. You know, we're the longest running women's professional sporting league in the country. We've been around forever, 42 years. And I want us to be back where we deserve to be, which is right up at the top. But there's a lot of work to be done to get there. You know, we need great commercial support, we need great broadcast, and, you know, probably coming off the back of International Women's Day this week, we just need more people to get behind the league, get behind their teams and support.
So that's sort of your vision and some of your challenges. amongst all that, are you hoping to expand the league at all? That's the question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah, look, I think it's definitely on the cards. I think there is definitely conversations happening around league expansion. I think to be truly national, we probably need to. As we know, Tasmania came into the NBL recently, so there's definitely an opportunity there. And then there are a few other areas that have expressed some interest as well. So there is definitely some very early planning happening for potential league expansion.
Christy, playoffs are just around the corner. Take us through how they're all going to work this year. We had sort of one and done finals last year, COVID restricted season, but back to the series this time around.
It's very exciting, back to the best of three. So we have first playing fourth, and they will play a best of three semi-final series. And then we go to second versus third in a semi-final series as well. And obviously the winner of both of those best of three series going through to the grand final, which will also be a best of three series. So we should see some amazing basketball come finals time with the best, the top four teams going through.
It means we get to see, I guess, the best product and more of it over that time. Is there any sort of push for a best of five like we see in the WNBA in the grand final series?
There are definitely some people behind the scenes pushing for a best of five. It would be great to see. It's just a matter of whether we can make it happen. So who knows? Who knows? We're talking about growth. Who knows?
I'm glad we've got best of three, to be honest.
Yeah,
At
I
least
agree.
now it's a really good start. Tell me, Christy, what do you enjoy most about your job? What puts a smile on your face when you go into work?
Look, I'm really passionate about the WNBL. I've spent 3 years with the Melbourne Boomers before taking on this role, and I loved that job. I loved working in the sport and working around it, and now I have an opportunity to do what I was doing at the Boomers at a national level, have an opportunity to make impact. So that really excites me. I'm really excited about the job ahead. I'm under no illusions about how much work there is to be done. But look, I love the game, I love the league, and I want to see it really successful, so that's why I'm here.
The good thing is in basketball, you won't be short of opinions. You'll get plenty of people that will tell you how to best do it and how to operate. Thanks for coming in, Christy. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Christy Collier-Hill with us, the head of the WNBL. Round 14 of the WNBL. 4 lead changes in the opening half, the Flames and the Spirit. 2 teams that are out of playoff contention, and yet they're the 2 teams with the longest win streaks in the game at the moment. The Spirit have won their last 3, the Flames their last 2. Both taking down some big sides on the run home, a bit of big game hunting for teams outside of the playoff mix. And we had 4 lead changes, as I mentioned, that first half. It's the Flames who are marginally ahead. They lead at 33-31. He did trail by 9 earlier in the quarter, though, it must be said.
Well, Sydney would be so keen to continue their win streak. They finally got off the bottom of the ladder, so they're sitting in 7th spot. So they want to keep this going. They want to try and get another couple wins to finish off their season.
Spirit to start with possession in their home stadium. I must admit, I'm a big fan of Bendigo Stadium. It's a magnificent venue. What they've been able to do in a beautiful part of the world is Maley trying to cut along the baseline. Draws a foul. Actually attended a boxing event at Bendigo Stadium, would you believe, Laurie Chizzy? Jeff Horn and Michael Zarafa.
On this court here, I
think it was in a different part of the stadium from memory. You know what, as Garrick pulls up and hits a baseline, Jay, that's a nice finish. Locks it up at 33 apiece. I'm one of those people that they could transfer any sort of stadium, and I feel like I'm in a completely different place. So
yeah. If
it was there, they hoodwinked me that it was the same venue, but certainly in the same complex. Megan Huswaite is courtside. Megan.
I am courtside in beautiful Bendigo, and the crowd here is fantastic, getting behind the Spirit, but a few Sydney fans in the house as well. It's been a highlight of this WNBL season after the Hub getting back to the stadiums around the country.
Force the shot clock violation here as well, the Bendigo Spirit, so good for the home team to get excited about. All knotted up at 33 apiece. Now foul caught on the offense. It's on Demi Skinner for a push. There is another game coming up tonight as well, by the way. The Perth Lynx are in action later tonight. It's a 7:30 start local, so that's 10:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Really important game, that one, for the Canberra Capitals.
Two of the competition's heavyweights, the Caps and the Lynx, later tonight. He's Froling along the baseline, trying to work her way to the bucket. Does really well.
She did really well because that was really good defense by Annalie Maley. She cut off the baseline, she forced her to go middle, and Froling kept her eyes up on the target and was able to finish.
Garrick for 3 at the other end. Catches the front of the rim. Maley floating through. Gives away the foul as she bangs bodies with Froling. Look at the way she enters here. A little reckless called for the foul there, but it's amazing the way the elevation she gets and how she's able to float through the air.
She just competes and she anticipates, and she is able to move her body and get into the right spot. And then it's just purely her athleticism.
Funda has a clean look, and Nakasoglu just rims out. McKay on the rebound. The Flames still looking for their first make from long range in a little while. They're just 3 of 14 from three-point land. They hit a couple early as well, so it's fallen away from long range. Garrick bounce pass, feeds it through to McKay. Nice finish at the rim. And Megan McKay with the bucket. That's her first.
Well, just a nice little pick and roll action from the high post. Good roll by McKay. Nice find by Maley.
Froling's numbers up to 12 and 5. The 1-2 with Shyla Hill. Great pass. Froling left it short. Hill tries to mop it up. The bounce pass just misses Purcell. They reload the Flames. Shyla goes herself off the dribble. Levy picks her pocket. 5 on 4 down the floor. Skinner, clean look. Got it for 3.
It's nice to see Skinner step into that starting lineup and have the confidence to shoot that perimeter shot, not hesitate at all.
5th lead change in the game. Spirit back in front. They're 4 of 11 from long range. Nakasoglu off glass is fouled. And Funda to the foul line.
I wonder if her dad is cringing because she doesn't have the mask on and she's going into traffic.
It's amazing the amount of players you see start with the mask and then eventually Bennett thinking, yep, this is a really good idea. Safety first, and then eventually has too much impact on their game. I remember, I think it was a Devin Booker last year during the NBA Finals or the Western Conference Finals, did the same thing. Had it for a couple of games, and then sure enough, it was gone by midway through the series. As Funda makes the first at the line. She's an 80% foul shooter on the season. By the way, that's Sydney's first foul shot. 1 of 2 on this trip. There's only been 5 foul shots in the game. See the numbers there on the bottom of your screen. Garrick up top, goes to work. Purcell steals it from her. And she does that just about better than anyone in the game. Kalani Purcell. Tremendous defensively again, Kalani Purcell.
Well, she's second in the league, across the league in steals. And for a big girl to be that way, usually it's your guards, your quicker type players, but she does a great job.
Shot's good for Purcell. I'm not sure the points will count, though, as McKay draws the foul. Got the call she was after. Ooh, conference between the refs.
Well, the contact was made before, so she passed, the contact was made, then the shot was made.
So no points. Bendigo ball. 5 lead changes in the game. 1 in the quarter. Levy down low, goes to work. Purcell the rebound. Her 7th. To go along with a couple of steals. She said second only to Brittany Sykes in that category. And you know, the voting will be conducted shortly for Defensive Player of the Year. You'd think she'd be in the mix there as well, Kalani Purcell. And it's amazing the individual performances they've had in a team that's been sort of well beaten. They were a 1-win side for a lot of the year at 1-11. They win a couple in a row. They've had so many changes with their imports coming and going. And yet you look at the years from Purcell and Froling and even Shyla Heal, who sort of, you can talk about her year and people sort of compare it to what she did last year. But at 20 years of age, she's had 17 a game and is equal 3rd in the competition in scoring. As Maley catches the front of the rim.
I think somebody like Kalani Purcell, who we see with the ball right now, she's just been consistent. You know exactly what you can get out of her. She knows her roles. She's got a high IQ. She doesn't try and do too much. She just does what she does very well.
Coming off 12 and 14 as well. Big double-double against the Flyers. Over the baseline, there we go again. Laurie Chiswick trying to dump it down low. Garrick to McKay, and Morgan Yeager gives her a hand over the baseline.
That will be easy to cut up vision of that to show the players, you know, the angles, that where the pass should it have gone in, should you fake it in, then kick it outside.
Purcell sits down 6 and 8. Her 3rd personal foul. She's the only player with 3 in the game. Hasn't been a lot of fouls in the game, period. There's only been 13 fouls called. 2.5 quarters in.
We'll see if this out-of-bounds play is set up for Maddie Garrett to come off of those screens. And if it is, she's got a shooter's mentality, Garrett, and if she can, she'll just catch and shoot it.
What's happened here, Laurie? Not able to make the sub? I think Shane's asking the same question we are. Purcell stays in the game with 3. Garrick down low. Here's McKay. Draws the double team. And arriving late is Purcell, who's going to pick up the foul. And that'll be her 4th, having been unable to be taken out of the game. Megan Huswaite. Did I miss something there, Megan? Did they take the foul off her?
It's been going back and forward on Froling and Purcell down here, so the scoreboard has been changing between the fouls, but it's got Purcell as 3 with the 4th to be updated and Froling on 3.
I think I gave the original foul to the wrong players. I think they'll both go to 3. Now I've confused everyone. So 3 for Froling, 3 for Purcell.
Well, if either of them have 4, they should be subbed out straight away, that's for sure.
So I've led everyone astray, but 3 each for Purcell and Froling. What you need to know is 3's the difference in the game. That's Bendigo who lead it, trying to cut that margin. Purcell misses. Bounce pass back to Rowe, and she finishes. Clean look inside the charge circle.
See, that was just another example of Kalani Purcell and her vision, just to be able to get that offensive rebound. And another steal here.
It's what she does best, Purcell. Back to Diebel. Around the horn it goes. Here's Jaeger, who misses the long-range 3. And Jaeger 0 of 3 from her limited look so far. And the Flames clip worsens, 3 of 17 from long range. There's the bucket for Rose. She has 5 points. Former Flyer. Pulling up off the dribble. Levy can't get it to go. Crashes through. Maley recovers it off the glass. Good for 2 more. Up to 13, leads all scorers.
We often talk about momentum and momentum swings in games, but there's been none of that this game. It's just been basket for basket, stop for stop.
Purcell slick pass to Diebel, to Rowe. Trying to dribble inside. A hand on it from Garrick, and the Flames will recover it. Catch and shoot scenario here with 1.5 on the shot clock. Spirit by 3. In it comes. Diebel off the dribble. Heaves one up. Can't connect on the rim. Spirit back the other way. They led it by 9 in the second quarter and yet trailed at the half by 2. Down low to McLean. To McKay. Up top, Levy. Catch and shoot. It's long again.
Great block out by Kira Rowe on Annalie Maley.
That's tough to do. Hasn't been too many answers for Maley all season. She has 8 rebounds in the game, 6 of them on the offensive end. And Purcell can't connect. The Flames throw it away, trying to go down low to Heel.
Could see Tracy York in the background there. I thought she was actually going to jump on the court there at one point. Just willing her players to get a stop.
3 to go before three-quarter time.
You know, we talked about how important this game is for Sydney, but equally for Bendigo. They want to finish top 5, or in that 5th position, so the best of the bottom teams. But they've got to look at that transition if they're going to do that.
Heel to Jaeger, loose handle and chucks it away. McLean to Maley. Trying to stop her downhill. Down low to McKay, shot goes up, rims out, McKay's second go, that's good off glass. McKay with her second bucket, answering straight back. Schuyler at the other end, wanted the and one, didn't get it. Back to a 1-possession game. Ooh. And Schuyler just making heavy contact with McKay, and Megan McKay will be called for another offensive foul. She wasn't prepared for that contact at all. Backing back into the Bendigo big. How did you see that, Laurie?
Well, by that limited, that vision there, I couldn't really tell what had happened. Other than Charlotte got a big bump.
Now a bit more intervention as well, as the ref starting to call a few fouls here. Cassidy McLean picks up her first. A few changes for both teams. Spirit by 3 after trailing by 2 at half-time. Have a look at this again, Laurie.
Not really sure. It's almost like Shyla fell into McKay, and
I think the thing that cost her is Megan sort of leaned forward at the last minute. It could have easily been a no call.
That's why we're commentators and not referees, Corbin.
I shouldn't even try and step into that realm.
No.
Flames ball baseline after the missed foul shot. Only had 3 foul shots at all in the first half. We've had 6 in this quarter. It's still well down on season averages. Here's Shyla up top. To Funda Nakasoglu. Driving inside the bounce pass. There was no one there. Goulding couldn't recover it. It just skimmed off her leg on the way over the baseline, so the Flames will get another chance to reload with 6 on the shot clock.
Plenty of time to run a good out-of-bounds play here.
Jaeger on the perimeter. Shyla Hill goes to work. Chucks up the lob and catches the front of the rim. Maley back down the other way. Nice bounce pass. Levy can't finish. Gee, they're all missing at the moment. The polish just coming off this game a little bit here in the third term. As Goulding heaves it to McLean, and Jaeger and Maley caught in a tangle under the bucket. The refs are starting to have a bit more involvement here.
I think Morgan was just trying to do everything possible to get in front of Maley, to be able to block her out if a shot went up.
It's become pretty scrappy here.
It has actually this quarter.
It's 33, I mean, low scoring game anyway to the half. 33-31, and now what's that, 12 points to 7 in the quarter. Bit more intervention from the refs. Maley puts up the shot, no call on the block from Rowe. Flames come up with it. Heel to Rowe. Trying to feed it down low to Froling. Comes off Goulding last.
Well, both teams are limiting the inside touches, and when it does go inside, there's been a lot of doubling and backing down and that. And neither team are shooting the ball particularly well from outside, so that's why we see the score line that we do.
Froling, turnaround Jay, can't get it to go. Good thing for us, at least, as neutrals, is it's close. It's a one-possession game.
That's right.
It's been close throughout. Bendigo did get it to 9 at one point in the second quarter. And the Flames came roaring back to actually lead by a basket at half-time. 5 lead changes in the game. Maley from long range misfires. O-board. McKay trying to muscle her way back. Hooks her way around. Froling, and is called for her 3rd offensive foul. So Megan McKay has 3 in the game, and they've all come on the offensive end. That is very unusual.
That was a good call by the referee. She had that elbow, that arm just hooking around Keely Froling.
Only 7 points in the quarter for the Flames, after scoring 19 in the second.
And if you look at the spread of scores, Corbin, too, Maley 13, Skinner 10, Froling 12. Nobody's come out and really dominated the game.
Points at a premium here late in the third. Can Shyla do something special? Creates for Funda. Hits the 3. Nakasoglu from deep.
Now, if I were Sydney, I would run a play straight away to her again and try and get another 3.
Up top, Carly Bogue to answer back a little long. Maley pulls down a tough offensive rebound. Tries the putback, no good. Still with Bendigo. Goulding to Levy. Guarded by Jaeger. Here's Maley trying to work her way to the rack. She's fouled. And Annalee Maley to head to the charity stripe. These will just be foul shots 6 and 7 for the Spirit. And there's the finish from Nakasoglu. A second make from long range. There's Maley, another double-double, as you can see with her numbers. Up to 14, 1 of 2 on this trip. Bendigo edge back in front. Oh, and it took a deflection here off the Flames, so they're going to get possession. Bendigo underneath their own hoop. Into Maley. 9-second differential. Goulding goes to work. Shot up, no good. Froling pulls it down in a tangle with Maley. Hand on it from Bogue. Tries to force the turnover and a reach in. They get a call eventually, the Flames. It was on Mary Goulding, the second attempt there.
Froling did a great job to keep that ball within her realm, and she sees herself at the foul line now. She's checking out all the scratches and bruises on her arm.
What a year she's had, Froling. She averaged 6 points, 3 rebounds in her career. 9 and 5 last year, her numbers with the Caps. You compare that to her numbers this year, the best of her career so far individually, 15 and 8.
You know what, I've been so impressed with her too, because they don't have a big lineup, so she is guarding all the bigs all the time, finishing against them. And at training, there's nobody to go up against other than Purcell, really. I mean, Rebecca Pizzi. But to have the season that she's having and the physicality that she goes through each week, really impressive.
Flames have trailed most of the quarter. They'll get the last look here to go ahead. 3 seconds on the game clock. Nakasoglu off the dribble. Can't get it to go. Catches the front of the rim. And how appropriate for a close game throughout that as we turn for home. We're all knotted up at 44 apiece. The Spirit and the Flames. Final quarter action next.
Who said we're not strong enough, not fast enough? Wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. Until we dunk, hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Icon Services is a market leader, offering 4 integrated property and service divisions in cleaning, hygiene and washroom, waste and recycling, and property services. Find out why Australia's largest spaces and most iconic places only trust the Icon brand. Icon, solutions that matter.
Bendigo Stadium, the Spirit and the Flames, the two teams with the longest win streaks in the comp. The Spirit having won their last 3, 5 of their last 6. And the Sydney Uni Flames on a 2-game winning streak. And we're all locked up as we turn into the final quarter. 44 each of 2 in a low-scoring affair. And a scrappy third quarter. Laurie Chiswick's in the books.
Well, it is. And you know, this is... For Sydney, Heel has 7 points, so it'll be interesting to see if she breaks loose. Maley, who we know is a scoring machine, 14 points. So if either of those can break loose and break through the shackles a little bit, but both teams are playing some great defense out there and making it really difficult for baskets.
Megan Huswaite courtside. Megan.
Tracy York, the Bendigo coach, addressing that it is a scrappy and tough game, but urging her players just to push through it, keep going. I checked in with Sydney statistician Shane Froling at 3-quarter time. 6 offensive boards. Bendigo dominating to start that third quarter. Needs some shots to drop. I'm not sure if that was a direct quote or a message on the stat sheet.
13 points for the Spirit in the quarter, 11 for the Flames after Sydney led by 2 at the half. Schuyler trying to heave it to the weak side corner. Gets it to Rowe eventually. Back to Heel. 4 on the shot clock. Gets around Garrick and finishes with a runner. Shyla Hill, some brilliance from the 20-year-old.
Well, she hadn't been able to do that in the first couple of quarters against Maddie Garrick, so maybe she's feeling a bit more comfortable.
Also make that 6 lead changes in the game. Levy with the handoff to Bogue, to Garrick. 3 on the red numbers. Garrick inside to return the favour. No good. Garrick swats it away. Sydney ball in their backcourt. Purcell, Nakasoglu, Heel. Who am I missing? Rowe and Froling, the 5 out there for the Flames to start the final term. Here's Shyla. Trying to drive to the rack. Got it to the corner for Froling. Wanted the call, didn't get it. Rowe up top, dribbles inside, puts up another runner. Back-to-back makes for the Flames. This is just about their biggest lead in the ball game, Sydney. They haven't had a wide margin all night. Bogue misses from deep. Goulding pulls down the offensive rebound. The 1-2 with Garrick, and Goulding answers back for Bendigo.
Smart pass by Maddie Garrick, and smart for her to just keep cutting through there, Goulding.
Here's Nakasoglu around the screen. Heel trying to cross over Levy. Swats it back down. Heel just pulls up with a hand in her face. Misses, and Maley on the rebound. Bendigo trying to keep this run going. One of the hottest teams, or the hottest team in the league. A 3-game win streak, 5 of their last 6. Heel tries to steal it from Levy. The refs have put the whistle away.
They have. They're just letting them
good
play.
From Carly Bogue. And all of a sudden, it's 48 points apiece. We had a lot of intervention, Laurie, in that third quarter, but very few calls here to start the fourth.
Well, I feel, too, if either team could get a couple of easy baskets, transition baskets. Right now, it's such a grind in the quarter court. And, you know, you need some easy baskets to create some momentum. But right now, it's just locked away at that defensive end.
Purcell trying to work her way through traffic. Last touch. And the Flames, it'll be Bendigo ball, 48 apiece. Here's a turnover count. 7 to play. Last 2 made baskets for the Spirit after being down 4. Garrick try and make it 3. Rattles out. They scrap for it under the basket. Maley had a share of it. And the possession arrow is going to go the way of the Spirit. Timeout called here by the Sydney Uni Flames. 48 points apiece. Shane Hill wants to talk it over. 7 to go. Still all level in Bendigo.
And then we allow them. Then we did a great job slapping the ball away. It was a loose ball, and they just wanted it more. This isn't about X's and O's. It's about having some guts to be able to go and finish this game off. Toughness. All right, offensively, I want to play more out of downs. They're trying to front it. So this next play, I want to play out of our 1, but I want to get it to Keeley at the free throw line like we ran. All right, so once we get it through, we throw, come off this, roll that down, shy, come high, throw it to Keeley. You got your shot, you got your rip through, we're going to play off you. If you don't have it, play a 2-man game with shot. Poise, here we go, engage in the fight. We can't lose the ball.
You mentioned earlier how calm he'd been, Shane Hill. A little more passion. We know he's a passionate guy, Shane. He loves the coaching aspect of basketball. He loves every aspect of basketball, but you could see him there with this game on the line and what it means to him this late in the season.
Well, you could just tell, and that's the you know, a great coach can just give a very quick, I don't know if it was a spray, but words of aggression, and then calmly talk about what he needs to happen in the offensive end or defensive end.
Goulding catch and shoot in the corner, no good, but they get another look at it. Levy off the dribble, pulls up, deep two's good.
She is doing that to perfection this afternoon. She's coming off strongly, scores mentality, and really pulling up with confidence.
7th lead change. 2-point game. Spirit back in front. Spin move, Froling. Shots no good. Work from Maley and Bogue defensively. Force the stop. Levy, do it again. Not quite. Maley on the rebound. Puts the shot up, doesn't get the roll, and Purcell pulls down a tough board. And Bogue will be called for the reach-in.
That's the luxury of having a teammate like Annalie Maley out there. When you shoot the outside shot like we just saw Tessa Levy, that she's able to clean up the boards, and she'd be disappointed that she didn't finish that shot. That's usually a gimme for Annalie Maley.
No player really in foul trouble. 3 for Megan McKay. Froling with 3, Purcell with 3. 6 to go. Jaeger to Purcell. His heel coming off the screen. Trying to get the bounce pass to Froling. Maley's awake to it. And Maley comes up with a strip. Big stop for Bendigo. They get the nice basket cut for Goulding. Unguarded, pops it in.
Really used her flex cut well. Miscommunication on defense, found herself wide open.
And now another stop for Bendigo. Bogue picks her pocket in transition, out to Levy, clean look, no good. Long rebound for Tessa Levy. Garrick, step back off the dribble. Again front of the rim and Froling the rebound. Momentum with the Spirit, stops defensively, buckets at the other end. Schuyler goes herself off the dribble. A little long. They come from all directions, and last touch by the Flames over the baseline.
Well, Sydney are getting that ball picked away because as they're putting it to the ground, it's not a hard enough dribble. They've got to pound it in so it comes back to their hand. And Bendigo are just able to get that little deflection that we've seen the last 2 times down the floor.
Maley up to 14 and 14. 10 of her 14 rebounds have been on the offensive end. And the offensive rebounding numbers 21 to 13. Bendigo's way, so +8. As you can see on screen. Bendigo again with possession, already up 4. With momentum early in this final term. Levy rolls around Maley, drives to the basket, fouled. And the experienced guard, Tessa Levy, to head to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
Bendigo in that last play were 5 out, so they were keeping the keyway clear, looking at their driving lane. Maley went and set a little on ball for Levy, and she just punched it in there.
Makes her first at the line.
5 points, that would almost be close to the biggest lead.
Makes both. Tessa Levy, uncharacteristically at 57% from the season from the free throw line. Career-wise, she's much stronger than that. She's 2 of 2 on this trip, and a key moment in the game to put it out to 6. I had that one run where they got it to 9 points, and then the Flames answered it almost immediately. That was the previous biggest mark, but out to 6. Dangerous moments. Flames need a bucket. Here's Froling. 6 left on the shot clock. Purcell goes herself on Bogue. Tries a layup. Bogue swats it away. And 1 left on the red numbers, so catch and shoot scenario here for Sydney. In it comes, Nakasoglu. Time to draw the defender, misses. Grabs the rebound, puts the shot up, gets it to go the second time.
Good second effort by Nakasoglu.
4-point game. The Bendigo with possession. Haley just the handoff to Garrick, and all of a sudden deep in the shot clock. 5 on it. Garrick spins, tries to get rid of Funda. Scoop layup, no good. Sydney get a stop. And Froling, uncharacteristically, tries to work it up into the front court. And they get it away to Nakasoglu in the end. Froling gets it back, attacks the basket. Shot's good, count them, and one to come. Froling to the line.
Good recognition by Froling from the top of the key there. She just saw a little gap. Everybody was hugging their players, and she was able to just drive it all the way. And you can see the emotion on her face on that finish. She demanded the ball there, didn't she? Back from Funda. And then just attack mode all the way to the hoop. 15 and 8 for Keely Froling. They are her season numbers, and she has one to come at the line. Shane Heal with the Flames.
They're trying to front, back, get in front. You've got to fight for the position. Guards are going to do a better job. They're fake and get it inside. All right? Then get ready to go to work. Okay? And then shooters are going to be everywhere. We're going to play off you. You keep hovering around, then you'll get a go, do the same thing. We want to be smart. Right now, we're running our offense. Everyone's in a hurry. We're not setting screens. It's just all over the place. Take a deep breath. If we defend and rebound, get it down here, get into our structure, listen to what we've said, and play with purpose, we're going to get open shots, okay? What they're trying to do is push us into this game, drag us down, all right? Got to rebound, got to rebound.
Really important at this time of the game, really important message that Shane Heal said is you've got to set screens at this time of the game. Sometimes you're fatigued mentally and physically, and those little things go out the window. So if you can set hard screens now and then read what the defender's giving you, he's confident they're going to get some good open looks within their offensive structures.
Had 7 lead changes in the game. Most of the time it's been a seesawing affair. Froling at the line, that's good. They're 3 of 7 from the free throw line. We haven't had a lot of foul shots in the game, period. 1 point game. Spirit lead it, having won 5 of their last 6. Trying to make it 4 on the bounce. The Sydney Uni Flames trying to make it 3 in a row. Garrick clean from the corner, not quite. Had plenty of time. And it was a last touch by the Flames, according to the ref. Froling not happy. But it'll be Bendigo ball in their front court. The benefit of the replay again here.
Well, it looked like Froling came over top of Annalee's hands, knocked it out of bounds.
Here's Levy. What can she do? Again off the dribble, again makes it. Bottoms for Tessa Levy. Back to 3 to margin. What a figure she is in this team, Tessa Levy. Now on the defensive end, Nakasoglu out to Froling. Mid-range game, can't get it to go. And McKay pulls down the board. 2.5 on the clock. Here's McKay, weak side corner. Garrick, what about this time? Not quite. And Purcell on the rebound. That's very uncharacteristic. Maddie Garrick with some clean looks from both corners. No call here. Nakasoglu, extra pass in the corner. Rowe can't connect. Skims off the front of the rim. It remains at 3.
Boy, there's a lot of bodies falling around when cuts are being made and screens are being set.
Levy. Pass broken up. Purcell forces the turnover. Here comes Shyla downhill to Froling. Froling lays it in with the left hand. Cuts it to a 1-point game. Keely's up to 18.
Great finish and great pass by Shyla Heal.
100 seconds left in the game. 1 point in it. 7 lead changes. Close throughout. What can Tessa Levy do off the dribble?
Oh,
threw it away to the dark shirt of Shane Heal. Saw the figure out the corner of her eye and threw it to the opposition coach.
And Shane would have definitely shot a 3 from there.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's amazing how often you see that in the game, isn't it?
We've seen it a couple of times this year.
And Shannon Seabohm was on the end of one a couple of weeks ago, and then Obviously, Bendigo in the dark unis today and Shane Hill in the dark clothing.
Oh, is it too early to call overtime, Corbin? Oh, that'd be great.
Would require some foul shots, and we haven't seen many of those so far in the game. And now Bendigo are going to get a call. It's going against the offense and against Shyla Hill off the ball. Maley's drawn the foul, and that is a huge moment with 1.5 minutes on the clock. And they're not even able to inbound, and they're going to lose possession. Oh, Shyla banging bodies with Maddie Garrick. And it's Garrick who draws it, the nod of the head, jawing back at Shyla. Spirit ball up 1.
Well, that has been a battle all afternoon, Shyla and Maddie Garrick. And I have to say, Maddie Garrick's done a really good job on Shyla. Shyla's hard to defend.
90 seconds left. Spirit by 1 and possession. Goulding to Garrick. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Garrick tries to put up the runner. No good. Maley scrapping after it. Last touch over the baseline. Flames ball. Sydney to get it. 70 seconds left, down 1. Full court press. Nakasoglu, who had 7 early, has 13 in the game. Calls the handoff with Rowe. Bounce pass to Froling. Still 8 on the shot clock. Froling pulls up herself. Not quite. Nakasoglu can't quite get the handle on the rebound. Trying to hold off the defender, and Maley scoops it up for Bendigo. And now Shyla's going to be called for the foul.
I was just going to say, Sydney don't need a foul. They're only 1 point down. They just need to play some really solid defense. But she doesn't send them to the line yet, so we've got sideline ball.
Megan Huswaite.
Goodness gracious me, the atmosphere down here at sideline is next level. You wouldn't believe that these two teams are at the lower end of the level. It is all on the line.
And now an offensive foul is going to go against Bendigo. We mentioned earlier in the quarter, it felt like the refs had put the whistle away. And now all of a sudden, there's been a few more calls late. And again, it's an offensive foul on Megan McKay. She has 4 fouls, Laurie. All of them have come on the offensive end.
She's just too, aggressive on those screens. And, I mean, it was a good call by the referee.
9-second differential. Purcell drives. She's got it. 1 to come at the line. Gives Sydney the lead. Foul shot to come.
And 5th foul on Megan McKay.
What a play. Kalani Purcell crosses over and finishes with the left hand. Huge bucket. What has been a breakout season for her. 8 and 11, has 4 steals in the game and a couple of blocks.
She has been sensational, just so impressive with what she brings to this Flames team. This leadership, this calmness on the court.
Oh, leaves one out there. 8th lead change in the game. Opens the door for the Spirit. 4-second differential. 1 point lead for Sydney. Levy pulls up from the free throw line. It's long. Shyla comes up with it. Maley forced a foul. And Maley will be called for it. And the shot misses from Tessa Levy, who's made them all night off the dribble. Pulled up, hand in there from Nakasoglu, not quite. And Shyla scrapping after the loose ball. She'll walk the length of the floor to shoot some foul shots.
Well, it was an unsportsmanlike call too, so they will get possession as well. So that's a real blow for Bendigo.
Oh, the shot's good from Shyla Hill. And what a twist late in the game. Shyla makes them both. So 3 and possession for the Flames. And there's some clutch makes from Shyla Hill, the 20-year-old. Her first 2 free throws of the night. Makes them both. Flames will be tough to catch here, up 3. 10 seconds on the clock with possession, Laurie.
Well, really, everything's in their favor. So they have possession right now. So what Bendigo have to do is foul straight away. Try and steal it to begin with, and then foul straight away. Stop the clock and just hope they miss. So they'd be looking right now to say, who's not the best foul shooter on the team, who do we want the ball in their hands.
Man, there were some big moments late in the piece there. Kalani Purcell off the dribble, the crossover, and then finishes with the left hand through the contact from McKay. And then moments later, we had Tessa Lavey at the other end of the floor. Feels like all night that's been
open for her, just a gimme.
Elementary for her. She more often than not knocks him down straight up off the dribble. And just a little long with the pressure from Nakasoglu.
And the other thing in that, when Tessa Lavey shot that, Kira Rowe did a fabulous job of blocking out Annalie Maley, because she was there to try and get that offensive rebound and put back, and Rowe took her right out of the picture.
What did you think of the unsportsmanlike call?
Well, it's always a hard one, because you have to, you know, you're making a play at the ball, but if you know, wrap around it all or wrap any arms, the refs have no choice but to call it unsportsmanlike.
It's a massive call in the context of the game. It gives...
If they can get a steal or foul straight away, a steal is ideal.
Rowe tasked with getting it in, finds Shyla Heel. Now the double team, and eventually the call comes. Shyla's heading to the free throw line.
She's probably the least person you want to send to the line, because she feels comfortable. She's just made 2. We know she's a big game player. She loves this right now.
Equal with Alana Smith with 17 a game this year. Equal third in points per game, behind only Mabry and Annalie Maley, the MVP favourite, and then makes it at the line. Shyla Heel puts it out to 4 with 8 on the clock. Second foul shot's up and good. So 4 big makes late in the game for the number 4. And Sydney lead it by 5 with 8 on the clock.
Not a lot that Bendigo can really do with 8 seconds. They'll advance the ball. They'll try and get a really a quick hitter 3 or a 2, because it's a 5-point deficit. And if they do happen to score, they'll just have to foul straight away. But it's a huge ask with only 8.1 seconds left.
We can't listen in the last couple of minutes of the game, so you can see what's going on, but we can't take you there. And the league protocols. This is a 1-11 team, the Sydney Uni Flames, who lost their imports. The other person who isn't mentioned enough is Lauren Mansfield, who has obviously had a season-ending calf injury. He's out for the year. Heavily depleted. They've got something like 25% of their salary cap available to them on court. And unless something dramatic happens here, when their season is seemingly over and everyone thinks it's time to pack up and focus on next year, they're going to take 3 wins late in the year to get themselves to 4-11. That is so admirable in what they've been able to do.
And then these 2 teams meet again next week, Corbin. So can you imagine how, you know, whoever loses or wins, they're going to be super motivated, and last games of the season to again try and end a season on a real positive. But this has been a real fight for both teams. And now, right now, it looks like Sydney's going to claim the victory.
Garrick catches from the inbounds, takes a dribble, misses from long range. Time running out. Last touch by the Flames over the baseline. Now just 3.4 on the clock. They had their looks earlier in the quarter, the Spirit. Garrick had a couple from the corner. That was a much tougher look, didn't go, and now a timeout has been called as well for Tracy York. 3.4 on the clock. And Shane Hill with a bit more of a smile on his face here, knowing that the game's in their keeping.
He would still be giving them instructions, so it's such a great time to go through these scenarios when you're a young team, and you know, so right now he'd be explaining what exactly he wants to happen and how they can take care of the ball, because that's, you know, inexperience is what lost them some of the close games early on in the season. So as a coach, it's so good to see that things have fallen into place and are clicking a little bit more now.
They're going to be a fascinating watch next year. I know they've got Kira Rowe coming back. They've got Shyla Heel on contract on their books, along with Kalani Purcell. Shane Heel is on a multi-year deal. They've got high aspirations in Sydney, wanting to be a championship team in the next couple of years. They've been able to find a couple of Australian players they probably didn't think they had at the start of the year in their mix. And then once you put a few imports in that team, all of a sudden they look like a fair unit. 3.4 on the clock. Need a very fast bucket. Levy into Garrick. Garrick heaves it up from long range. No good. The Flames will win it. They still burn bright late in the season. Sydney make it 3 on the bounce. 61-56. They take down the red-hot Bendigo Spirit on their home floor. The Spirit's 3-game winning sequence is over. And a 3-game winning sequence continues for the Sydney Uni Flames. They've got the best winning streak in the game. They're 4-11.
Well, you know, their trip to Victoria, they're very successful, having beaten Southside. Well, now Perth, Big Scalp, Southside, and now Bendigo. So they'll go back to Sydney with a lot of confidence to play in round 15.
61-56. Scrappy game of basketball. They do it by committee. Froling 18-8. Purcell 8-12. And then 13 each for Shyla Hill and Funda Nakasoglu. Nakasoglu good early. Hill clutch late at the free throw line. 4 of 4 to go along with 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And the Sydney Uni Flames win by 5. Megan Huswaite courtside. Megan.
I am with Shane and Shyla Hill. We'll start with the coach. How about that?
I'm sweating. I feel like I've played myself. It was a grind, but really proud of the girls. 3 in a row and such a young team and adversity, and they've been great.
You asked them to dig in early in the fourth quarter and show the fight they'd shown in the 3 quarters prior to that. They did.
Well, they had to, because this team plays hard. You know, they really are hard, and they have to block out, and you've got to engage in the fight. And, you know, at one stage we're down by 9, and then we fight back, we're down by 6. So it takes some good character, and we're creating a good culture. And like I said, I'm really proud.
Part of that culture is your daughter, the superstar, Shyla Hill. You were clutch in those final moments. How proud of you? How proud are you of that win?
I'm so proud of the girls. Obviously, it's been a grind all year. We've been undermanned, but we stick together and we play hard every game, so I'm just proud of them.
Tell me about your injury, because you did hurt your ankle at training just over a week ago, but you missed the win over Perth, came and played against Southside. You're not 100%, but you were showing a lot of guts.
Yeah, I tore 3 ligaments in my ankle last Thursday, so only a few games left. Strap it up and get going.
Get going. You've got Bendigo next week again, Shane.
Well, I think we've got Perth before that, so 2 more opportunities at home, and hopefully we can get a good crowd. And, you know, these girls are getting confidence, and we're building for next year. That's what it's about for us. And, you know, people probably don't understand the adversity, and, you know, it's just good that our girls have been able to take it on the chin and run with it and not complain and fight it out to the end of the year.
And before we let you go, can you sum up Keely Froling for me in a few words?
Opal. She is an opal. I mean, I really feel like it. She's got that toughness and grit that the Opals stand for, and she's developed her game. She's come a long way, and she's a leader of our team. We've still got Lauren Mansfield out, 2 Americans out, and she's stood up. She's been unbelievable for us.
She sure has. You guys were unbelievable today. Thank you, Shane and Shyla.
Great interview, Megan. Nice to hear from Shyla and Shane Hill. And what an endorsement, too, for Keely Froling. Perhaps an opal in waiting. Got the tick of approval from her coach, the Sydney Uni Flames. And how marketable is it to have the Hill father-daughter combination in the one team in one of the biggest, or the biggest city in the country. Flames win it by 5. Laurie Chiswick, they're the key numbers.
Well, we've talked about it all game, that it was a grind. There was no real momentum swings. There was, no prolific scoring, prolific shooting. It was all about being inside. But, the stats really speak for themselves in a close grind-out game. 6
more turnovers from the Spirit. They lose the game by 5. Megan Huswaite is courtside. Megan.
I am courtside with Kalani Purcell, such a big role player in this Sydney team. That was a terrific win.
Yeah, it's really good. I think our momentum going from the Perth game into the Southside and now against Bendigo, who were on a winning streak, you know, we're kind of really ready to come in and, show what we can do for the remainder of the season.
You've been such a key on D, as you have been throughout your WNBL career, mainly with the Boomers, of course, but how are you enjoying playing and working with Keely Froling?
Yeah, it's definitely a change, and I think for both me and Keely, we're finding it, a challenge, but a good one that both of us can kind of step up and try to play the roles that we both kind of want to play. So it's been really fun, and playing with Keely has been really good. Yeah.
And It's been a good couple of weeks, 3 in a row now, and you've got Perth and then Bendigo again to close out the season on hopefully a high.
Yeah, we're really excited, honestly. And I think as well, the 3-game winning streak has got us a bit more pumped than before. So yeah, let's finish out the season strong. We're ready to go.
Great game again today, Kalani. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks.
You just saw that bucket at the end there from Kalani Purcell as well, which was a key moment in that final quarter, the crossover and the finish through contact, thanks to Megan Huswaite. Those uniforms, they look a little better up close, I must admit. Laurie Chiswick, not so sure from our vantage point up here, but what a win for the Sydney Uni Flames. That's 3 in a row. This is a little of how they did it.
They were just persistent, Corbin, in what they set out to do. Defensively, I thought they did a really good job of clogging it up. In fact, both teams were hard to find baskets inside early on, and Nagasoglu got some nice outside perimeter shots. And then Shyla Heel, while she was quiet, she ended up with 13 points, some crucial ones at the end. But I thought she did a good job of getting her teammates involved too. And Keely Frawling, certainly Purcell, who we just had that interview with, really stepped up, and that finish there against physicality. But let's not forget Bendigo. They put on a gutsy performance too. They played the way they know how to. Just some shots didn't fall for them.
There was a father-daughter combination, obviously, with the coach and also one of the star players in Shane and Shyla. There's also another father-daughter combination, which was on the bench and starring out there on the floor in Keely Frawling with father Shane, and they're both catching up with our own Megan Huswaite.
They sure are. Keely, were you happy that Dad was on the bench today because it meant that he couldn't yell?
Yeah, it's actually nice of him being on the bench because I don't hear him yelling at all. I'm like, oh, this is the quietest he's ever been in a basketball game.
What a win today. You must be so proud.
So proud. We've had a really tough run, and to go 3 in a row like that against a really good Bendigo team, we fought right to the end. It's just awesome.
Hey, I want to ask you about the development players. Evans and Deeble played 72 minutes between them in your win over Perth a few weeks ago. That is a WNBL record for most points by development players. And they, came on today again. Katie Deeble is really making waves for this team.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And, when they're taking this opportunity 2 hands and showing what they're made of, and definitely future stars of the WNBL and hopefully the Opals as well.
Well, a star, Keely Frawling. Shane, you must be very happy. I know you had an official role today, but what were your thoughts on your daughter's performance?
No, fantastic. The whole team, the support for them all week has been great, and watching Shane and Shelley do what they do with the team and just come in and assist a little bit was great. I did a little bit of work with them in footwork at training through the day, and the girls are really good to work with.
Now, you've got Keely here, Alicia for the Capitals. You saw her live last week in Melbourne. And then the boys play for Illawarra in the NBL. So it's busy being Shane and Jenny Frawley.
It certainly is. And now we can escape Fortress Queensland. We're getting to whatever games we can. And successful week, 4 wins of 4 games for me this week. So I'm happy.
Before we let you go, we must ask, what was the most impressive stat today from your collecting on the bench?
We let Bendigo get too many offensive boards, especially in the second half, but once that was addressed, the girls took it and just rammed it home. So they were really, really tough. Great teamwork.
Your daughter was too. Great to catch up with the Frawling family.
Absolutely. Keely and Shane Frawling with our own Megan Huswaite. A nice win for the Sydney Uni Flames. Plenty of smiles, as they should be. They were 1-11 a few weeks ago. They're now 4-11, having won 3 games in a row and taking down some big scalps en route. Fascinating end towards the playoffs in the WNBL season. All the machinations, who has to beat who, how it's going to come together. Laurie Chiswick's going to take you through it in just a moment. Full-time, 61-56. A win for the Sydney Uni Flames over Bendigo. What it all means for the rest of the competition up next.
And went down to the dark
Two of the hottest teams in the WNBL coming in. The Flames were on a 2-game winning streak. The Spirit were on a 3-game winning sequence. They'd won 5 of their last 6. It was close throughout, and in the end, Kalani Purcell making her way to the rack through traffic, and in the end was able to finish, and the Flames over the top. Shyla Hill with some clutch free throws down the stretch. They win by 5 points. So fascinating result. It means Sydney, who have been anchored to the bottom of the table for much of the season, now have the best record, now the best win streak in the game.
And they've climbed up that ladder a little bit. You know, they're still, at least they're off the bottom of the ladder. But what's of interest now is our top 4 are, without question, locked in. And, you know, there's still 4 games left where the top 4 teams play each other. So those top ladder positions are still very much up for grabs. I think when you look at that, who plays who, I really believe that Perth are going to finish on top. I think that they're playing well enough to win. It'll be interesting to see the Capitals game later on today, but it's the next 3 teams, Melbourne, Canberra and Adelaide. They all play each other, but the reality is that the destiny is in their own hands. So if Melbourne were to win their 2 games against Adelaide and Canberra, they would end in 12-5 and they would get into second spot. If Canberra win their 3 games, same thing. They would finish 13-4 and they would get in. And Adelaide the same, 3 games. So it's about what they play against each other. So these next 2 games this weekend, and it could in fact, Corbin, come down to that final game on Saturday afternoon between Canberra and Melbourne next weekend to decide the final placing. So exciting.
It's amazing, really, and it seems disproportionate the amount of times that the top teams play each other at the end of the regular season, just the way that it's worked out. And obviously we'll get some sort of a combination of those teams playing each other in the playoffs. There's a best-of-3 series for 1 versus 4 and also 2 versus 3. So we're going to see those matchups quite a bit on the run home, which is what you want, the best teams going at it.
But I love the fact that it's their destinies in their own hands. They don't have to rely on somebody else, you know, losing or winning, or you have to win by this sort of margin. It's all in their own hands. So, you know, that's a great thing for each team to go into these last 2 rounds.
There's still another game to come tonight. It starts at 7:30 local time, which is 10:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, at the Bendigo Basketball Centre over in Perth. So nice to see the Lynx getting some home games on the back end of the season with the border opening up. This is the last time that they played. It was a wide margin in the finish. It'll be fascinating to see what happens tonight. The Caps obviously having plenty to play for, and we know the Lynx had a slip-up against the Flames not too long ago at home.
Well, it'll be interesting as well, Corbin, because the Canberra Capitals are going to be without Kelly Wilson and Alex Bunton, who have decided to, and it'd be a very hard decision, to not make the trip out there because of WA's COVID protocols, which you got caught up in when you had a recent trip back to Perth, but they both have young families and they don't want to take the chance. So I think it's going to be a really tough ask for them. Perth are playing really well. They did have that loss to Sydney, but boy, did they then shine against, who did they play? Let me just think. Their last game.
I'll get you to that.
Sorry.
Melbourne Adelaide's the other game, so that's coming up tomorrow. This is to complete round 14, so this is the game tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So both teams, as we touched on, sort of in playoff contention, sort of battling for positioning late in the season.
It was Adelaide that they were playing. As I saw that reminded me, and that was a good game. That was against another top 4 team, and Adelaide now, you know, they have that chance against Melbourne tomorrow, back at home. So wow, it's still so many, you know, 4 games with those top 4 teams to really decide.